For the last few years, we've been working with New South Wales EPA through the Waste Less Recycle More program, which has allowed us to start to use green compost waste. So that's basically anything that goes into your green bin is sourced sustainably and turned into compost. So through the use of compost, what we're trying to show is the flexibility of that particular product. It allows those with light soils to increase water holding capacity, structure, the physical characteristic. The soil microbiology can also increase considerably with the use of compost. But the other thing is too, even on heavier soils, it still has benefits. The compost is actually a brilliant product where it can be amended at the facility before it comes out to the grower. So the way we've done this is to get some ground truthing or get some real basic data on the site and then create a product that would actually suit us. So it's not something you just go and buy off the shelf. So get your agronomist involved, get some soil testing done, and then move forward, incorporate that material, but then value add to it. So you might want to add some fertilizer, you might want to add some lime, but it's a product that can be amended in such a way to suit your property. Through these trials, we've been keeping a very close eye on the soil chemical characteristics and only really adding what we need to add. It's a science to it, and we have to do that just to make sure that we keep that soil healthy for generations to come.
Compost made to the Australian standard doesn't have any foreign material. It's a quality product in its true form. So make sure when sourcing the product, it's made to the Australian standard AS 4454.
Applying compost is a really quick and simple and very cost-effective way of actually improving soil health. Compost and its application will increase your soil carbon. So compost actually takes a little while, depending on the soil type, to actually work. There are a number of things that actually influence that. On a regular basis, continue to monitor the physical characteristic or the properties of that soil. One application isn't going to be the only application. So lighter applications we've found actually work better. 10 tonne a hectare has been our most successful rate of application. Anything above that takes a lot longer to work, but we get really quick results and good results with only 10 tonne. The success with it has been water holding capacity, especially through these dry times. What we've actually found is that we hold water a lot better. And in doing that, you're actually holding on to the nutrients. So the nutrients just not going out through the profile, it's actually being made available to that plant. When we first started using compost, we ran a really good trial with eggplants and capsicums. And what we actually found is that we had an increase of fruit size, and they actually came on fairly early. We then found flowering increased, and the frame sizes of the actual plants themselves were quite noticeable. They were significantly larger. The roots themselves were really strong, healthy, and the biomass was quite large. The only variation that we had was the compost. It really did make a difference, and that was really at that, as I mentioned before, the 10 tonne per hectare was our best rate of application and our best results. We had some yield increases in the range of 20%, and that's quite significant. With those sorts of increases, it's really a no-brainer. We've spread the compost through a spreader that we actually have. So it's a belt spreader, so if we're talking large hectares, it works extremely well and probably the only way to do it. So it'll hold around about 2.5 cubes of material and gets spread extremely evenly. Those who don't have that sort of equipment, unfortunately you're just going to have to use a shovel and go through the motions. Yes, it does take longer, but you'll get there. Field days and farm visits and walks that we have here, and we've had some 1,500 plus people through the gates since opening, and that's only been in the last 12 months. But it works extremely well where people do come in, let's say they do come in for a cornfield day, they will actually then start to walk and navigate their way through the farm and look at what else is going on. And the EPA compost has actually been the go-to, because it's something that even though we're growing varietal trials, we're still using compost in doing that. But we can see the benefits, and that's simply just by taking a shovel to the paddock and opening some ground, and we can see what's been composted, what hasn't, what the benefits have been. I would definitely recommend compost, whether or not you're putting it on vegetables, if you're putting it out on your paddock, or even using it as a surface mulch, just to simply retain some of that moisture that farmers are really looking for all the time. Water is valuable, and especially the climate that we're in at the moment, water's becoming a limited resource. So we need to get smart about how we actually farm.